Yet another disappointing and bizarre occurrence at a WNBA game that unfortunately looks like it could be becoming a trend. People are throwing adult toys out onto the court in the middle of the game.
Beyond the media persona, Cunningham remains a productive player. As of late July, she's averaging over 12 points per game, contributing significantly to key wins like a 17-point performance against the Seattle Storm in a bizarre and concerning turn of events. Cunningham has become a repeated target of an escalating trend at WNBA games, fans throwing neon green adult toys onto the court as these incidents began unfolding. Sophie Cunningham, who had just joined the Indiana Fever in early 2025, took to social media to call for immediate stoppage. "Stop throwing adult toys at us on the court. You're going to hurt one of us." She further reflected via her Instagram stories, "No way, that thing actually hit me." While some players initially reacted with humor, sharing memes and tweeting sarcastic remarks, it quickly became clear this wasn't a joke. Sparks coach Lynn Roberts denounced the throwings as ridiculous, dumb, and stupid, emphasizing it's also dangerous and player safety is number one. "I knew I shouldn't have tweeted that." The broader issue has drawn condemnation from coaches and players alike, and the league has instituted stringent measures mandating ejections, year-long bans, and potential legal charges for offenders. Cunningham's reaction was a mix of frustration and as she'd previously decried the trend and later offered a sardonic 5-word response when the object hit her. Her visibility in these incidents underscores a larger issue around respect, safety, and the treatment of women athletes. Sophie Cunningham embodies a modern athlete who blurs the lines between performance, media influence, and cultural commentary. She's not just a player, she's a provocateur, a defender, and an unapologetic voice in the WNBA. Her reputation is complex, celebrated by many for her candor and unapologetic stance, and criticized by others for the friction she frequently creates. Whatever the view, one thing is clear: Sophie Cunningham is a figure you can't ignore in women's basketball. Beyond the overt danger, these incidents hint at something more troubling: a cultural backlash against the rising visibility of women's sports' glamour editorialized. No, if similar antics happen during men's games, the adult toy is more than a projectilite, is a symbol weaponized to sexualize and degrade female athletes in response to their emergence as elite, high-profile public figures. Let's be real, this is what happens when women start winning in a world still wired for men to dominate. We're living in a time where patriarchal norms are clashing hard with female progress, and the backlash is loud, from Republican leaders spouting outdated views on women to male podcasters like Andrew Tate and Joe Rogan shaping the mindset of millions of young guys. It's no shock that women rising in pro basketball, a space long ruled by minority, met with juvenile sexist stunts. And let's not kid ourselves, tossing adult toy on the court isn't just a joke. It's a clear message. It's meant to humiliate, objectify, and remind these women that no matter how skilled or successful they are, some people still want to reduce them to nothing more than a body that's not new, it's tired, and frankly pathetic. If I had a nickel for every time a toy landed on a WNBA court, I'd have maybe 3 nickels. But if I had a nickel for every time a powerful female athlete got hit with some misogynistic backlash, I'd be rich enough to start my own damn league. Just ask the U.S. women's national soccer team, another squad that had the nerve to outperform the men and got dragged for it. This isn't about sports, it's about power and the fact that more women are finally claiming it.
How gutsy was that to pull that out?
It was very gutsy, every win ain't gonna be pretty. So I'm happy that we kept our composure even though Seattle went on an 11-0 run. We've been through situations like that, but at the end of the day we just stayed together and we talked about it and we moved on to the next play.
I also think it shows the growth that we've had as a team, because early in the season we were just so inconsistent, and if teams were to do that, we would normally lose those games, but it just shows that we're getting closer, we're trusting each other, and we're just, I think that's the biggest part, is trusting and knowing that we can win those games even if they go on runs.
To your point about the consistency,
Yeah.
there's been a lot of ups and downs in the WNBA this season. To take care of business in a winning streak like this, what does that sort of say about how this team's come together?
Yeah, Seattle's a great team, a great team, and it's hard to play here. And so we knew that. We knew that they just came off kind of a bad loss against LA. And so they were hungry for a win. But for us, it's not about other teams. It's about our standard. It's about stacking the days. And I think that where our mental's at as a team and as individuals, we're in a really good spot. And, it's not going to be easy moving forward. But I think today we stayed true to the scout. We trusted the offense. Kelsey has been having a hell of a season. She was a little bit off, but she facilitated for us offensively down the stretch. And it just shows that everyone has something to give, even if your scoring's not going to be there. But I don't know, I'm just proud of our team, and I'm proud that we stacked today.
Easy peasy. Thank you, guys.
Sophie talked about how if this was May or June, you guys might not have been able to pull out this game, especially with Seattle's 11-0 run. Just what does it say to the growth the team has had and how they're able to kind of find a little bit of consistency in this game?
I think it says a lot. They know one another a little bit better now. We're maturing in how we handle situations and how we handle runs. We stayed neutral. We didn't get too high. We didn't get too low. Like, look, this league is tough, and teams are going to make runs. And this is a veteran team in Seattle who understands the ebbs and flows of a game and made plays when they needed to make plays. And I was proud of our group for how we stayed, not just together, because we always stay together, but how we stayed even. And we came down and we went to the next play. We made some big plays in key moments that allowed us to win the ball game.
I think there was one last year, but I think this ties the longest winning streak since the Catch era. What does it say to be able to do that without Caitlin?
I think it says a lot about this group. I mean, we've got a deep team. We've got a great mix of veterans who have been in this league and who understand the ebbs and flows and who understand, that injuries are a part of it, and young players who continue to grow in their role, continue to gain confidence. I think I said it early when C was out the very first time, while we don't like it, sometimes it can be a blessing in disguise because everybody else finds themselves, right? And no one is afraid to make the big play, offensively or defensively. And so I think it's just, we got a really good group that's unselfish, that want to win, that play well together and for each other. And when one person doesn't have it, somebody else does. And I think it makes this really, really difficult to scout when that happens.
Will you talk about how the team felt Dominique Malonga's presence today? Everything she did doesn't show up on a stat sheet, but would you talk about how you guys felt her presence? Yeah,
I mean, certainly she's grown since the last time we played them. Her confidence, her sense of urgency might not be the right word, but just demanding the ball, aggressive when she gets it, hunting opportunities to get to her spots, and I think she did a great job of that. She's a tough cover because of her length. She's getting stronger, you can tell that, and doing a great job of understanding where she's going to get her touches. So she was definitely a challenge for us. And that's a young player that's just going to continue to grow and continue to get better, and she's going to be a force that's not going to be fun to reckon with throughout the course of her WNBA career.
You had a player not similar to Dominique, but Boston, and that took a moment to kind of grow and get her feet under her in the league. When you talk about Boston's development for your team, how you see it?
Yeah, I mean, AB's been huge for us. She's really been the key. She came into this league predominantly playing on the low block, getting a lot of post touches. When she was in college and her rookie year, and then last year, her first year with Caitlin, playing a lot in the two-man, and then this year we're asking her to be a facilitator as well, and a hub for us on the offensive end of the floor, while being more versatile on the defensive end than she probably has ever been, and she's just continued to step up to the challenge and grow and be better. She's really the rock of our team. She's even keeled, she's high IQ. Everybody trusts her on both ends of the floor, and she's our backbone, and she's been tremendous for us all year long. And you see when teams key on her defensively and they're not allowing her to get scores, she finds the open player and she makes the right play, and that's huge for us.
What do you think on the sidelines that Seattle had multiple looks at the Titans right in the last 30 seconds?
Yeah, my stomach was doing flips there. You know, I felt like they did a really good job of executing. You know, we didn't do quite as good a job of anticipating action and communicating screens. You know, we got fortunate that they didn't fall. You know, the last possession that Gabby's look, we were trying to take a foul. You know, in that situation so that we wouldn't give them another look. You know, it didn't get called or didn't foul her enough, I don't know. But, you know, we tried to minimize those opportunities, but I thought their execution was really good.